Alright, welcome guys. I am ASAP Grimm. Welcome to the channel. And these are the Omega adventures of Torvin Grimm. Torvin Grimm is my character here. He's a Caldari. And this is the character that my uncle got me about a year's worth of Omega time for. And so I've never been in Omega before, so I'm having a lot of fun getting into all the skills that I've been locked out of in the past. I have been playing EvE for a long time, but very sporadically. So really, in practical terms, I'm a noob. But I'm toying around with the training stuff. I've got some pretty good industrial and mining skills now that I'm hoping to pair with my abyssal running ability and maybe use some of those blueprints. I'm working towards that right now. But today I thought I might mess around with some missions. Did somebody message me? Let me make sure. No, I don't think so. Okay. What I did want to show you though is that I'm working towards getting into a hawk. That's what these three skills here are for. They're going to take days on end, as you can see. This one taking a little over 1 day, but the others taking multiple days. These right here, this is just stuff that I'm getting in order to sign off on my various destroyer mastery skills. So they're coming from class 2 and I think a couple from class 3. of stuff that I need to get these certificates. So that's kind of what I use as a guiding light for my training queue. But let's go ahead and pop open the agency. I have chosen the Caldari Police Corporation as the company that I'm going to run missions for, because I want to do security missions. And the way that I figured this out was I set agent level to any level. I kept security status to high sec. I kept faction to Caldari State. And then I went through all of these corporations. Not every single one, but a number of them. And the reason I picked corporate police force, there was something I was looking for. Oh man, sorry guys, I had to sneeze. There was something specific I was looking for, and that was level 4 mission givers that were in high sec, and that were at least 2 of them in the same base. And I found that right here in 0.7 space. Manma and Henkin are both in Omahalen. And then there was a second set right here. Ayanola and Hurus, also in 0.7 space at Waskisen. Here's another one in Omahalen, Syra. So that's 3 in Omahalen. I thought I saw Inaro. Was there another one in Inaro? Yeah. That's in 0.8 space. So they had a lot of double ups on level 4 mission givers in the same base, and I guess from what I read that your efficiency increases because you can run missions for both, and it's all in the same general area. Sometimes it's even the same pirate camp. So for you, you're running like 1 mission, but you're completing for 2 agents. And then I went ahead and dropped that down to level 1 to see if they had a plethora of agents, and they do. So that's who I settled on. Now I've had to kind of relearn some things that I'd learned before, and how to use EvE survival, how to avoid turn down some missions in order to not hurt your faction rep. And I learned that the hard way because I've already killed some Galentian Navy. So and I was surprised too, right? I was like, dadgummit, I got ambushed, man. So anyway, that's I'm still in progress with learning how to make sure I don't hurt my Galentian rep. So if anybody has any tips or anything as you watch me play this, and I'm all ears. But we're gonna go, let's see, where was I working? I was kind of moving around to different agents because when you turn one down, you can't turn another down from them for 4 hours, so you need to go to a different agent. I was working for her, Mato. So let's set destination and undock. And then we might do some abyssal running tonight also, because my uncle found something that helped me really speed up my ISK per hour, and I'd like to show that off. Because I did a run where I'm hitting an estimated 23 million per hour.
Warp drive active.
And that's in a destroyer, which is not getting as good of loot. And the Ace Face video that I was watching was advertising, I think, 15 to 20 mil an hour, so I've eclipsed that. I think that's significant enough to go ahead and show, but we might show it today, we might show it tomorrow. I'll be streaming tomorrow also. We'll just have to see. I might spend all my time just doing missions tonight. And one of the big things I'm trying to figure out is, will farming abyssal sites be a better moneymaker than farming level 4 missions? And that's interesting to me to find those things out, so I'm having fun. This is kind of how I play the game, because with this 1 year of Omega time, I'm hoping that within that year I can figure out how to PLEX my account. And, you know, we'll have to see what CCP does, what kind of rules and stuff that they change or institute in the future, because I have some speculation that I think maybe they want to reduce the ability to PLEX accounts and increase the requirement to hold a subscription. And I'm not complaining about that. These are just business models, right? You want to play the game, you got to do this or that. And so I don't know if that's what they're aiming for or not. It's total speculation on my part, and it's a very, what I might call a soft speculation.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
All right, now I don't see any Garistas listed here. I need to acquire these goods. Okay, and then drop them off here. Recover. Coiffe? Do you think that's pronounced coiffe, like a play off of coffee, or quaif? I've never really known. Unleashed formula, return it to your agent. Site contains special ship restrictions. Corvette destroyers are allowed. I don't see anything about pirates, so we're going to go ahead and accept it. Set destination, make that jump.
Warp drive active.
I try to imagine how many people work inside this thing. Like what's the human size ratio? Warp to location.
Warp drive active.
I see these lights on the ship on the side, and that makes me think like they're windows. So, and they're big windows, so they're like the kind of windows that you would see in a big office in a skyscraper. So a person is smaller than that. Quince, Namirda, and some friends. Oh, he got out of there. All right, let's rotate around the acceleration gate. I always loot. I have not reached the point where I'm salvaging yet, because this is not my primary moneymaker. Abyssal running is. Loot. Come on. Okay. Distance. Having a hard time getting my spacing right on selecting things from the radial tool. I think I have a mission loot. There we go. Filter. I got that from Ace Face also. Okay, am I moving? Yeah, let's warp drive.
Warp drive active.
Things are pretty easy when you're a Caldari. Seems to be, I mean, you just kind of sit far off and snipe stuff, and there's also less management, it seems, than I traditionally play as Galente. So I'm doing a lot of drone management and stuff. Hey Pack, how you doing, man? How's your weekend going? Well, that's probably Pac. I don't know. Pack the Maniac would rhyme. There we go. I'm just trying to learn how to do missions, basically. I'm not a complete noob, but I'm also not exactly a veteran at this stuff. So I have slowly over the past few days figured out how to use EvE survival and avoid getting bad faction rep, you know, like which missions to turn down, how to find out whether or not you should be running that mission, that kind of stuff. I am brand new to EvE, hope to learn something. Just call me Pack. All right, will do. Yeah, okay, well then, if you're brand new to EvE, let me go ahead and I'm just going to start talking, okay? And I'll tell you what it is that I'm trying to do. So my uncle got me an Omega account a couple months ago. It's the first time I've ever played an Omega account. So I'm excited about that. And I have a year's worth of time. And, gotcha, you're mining right now? Okay. I have a year's worth of time. And in that year, I am hoping to learn how to do what's called PLEXing your account, where you buy an in-game thing off of the market called PLEX. You can look it up. It's very expensive. But if you can get 500 of them, you can buy a month of Omega time. So there are people out there that they're able to do this month in and month out. And so they don't have to buy the subscription with real world money. They do it with in-game PLEX. So that sounds like fun to me. That sounds like this is what's called a sandbox game. So you have to come up with your own goals. And so I want to give that a shot, right? And so I started looking up ways that I could do that. And there are one of the most traditional ways to do it is running what's called level 4 missions. So right now, if you look right here, I'm at level 1. And the way that you get to level 4 is that you pick a company to run for, and you run a bunch of missions for a few different agents of that company. The fewer, the better. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to build up your reputation. See, my effective standing here is 3.9 with her. And as your reputation improves, you'll be able to bump up to level 2 missions, and then level 3 missions, and then level 4 missions. And conventional wisdom holds that if you grind and farm, I guess, if you farm level 4 missions, then you can PLEX your account. Okay. So that's the traditional method. But a newer method has come along. And now that you're here and wondering about it, I think that we should just go give this a shot. So I'm going to demonstrate it to you. And it's called abyssal running. And I'm letting you know now, there's a guy on YouTube called Aceface that if you could look at my videos, but I would really recommend that you go to him and you check out, he's got a whole bunch of different videos on it. And it looks to me like a really good way to run abyssals. Specifically, I would point you towards his Amar Punisher videos. And then ultimately, though, I would tell you to look up Aceface Abyssal Hawk, because that's the thing that's his latest and greatest, and he's really excited about it. So let's fly back over to Jitta real quick. I was thinking about doing this today anyway, so let's just go ahead and do it now. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. So with this, we're looking at kind of how much ISK per hour are you earning, right? There's a bit of an upfront cost. Because you have to buy what's called filaments. Also, if you haven't done them yet, I would really strongly encourage you to do all of the tutorial, do all of the career agents. They set you up with nice ships and a good amount of starting ISK. And they'll get you into a destroyer if you do all of them. And you'll have a mining ship, and you'll have a hauler, and you'll have an exploration vessel also. If you want to check, that's another way that you could make money. Mining is probably the old standby. The thing is that mining as an alpha is difficult. So if you're an Omega, then great, and especially if you can get in with a corporation. But if you're an alpha miner, it can be a little bit more tricky. Probably being in a corporation would help a lot, because one of the things you could do is join mining fleets and go get some of that high-end ore out in low-sec areas. But I think once you see what I'm able to do with Abyssal running, you might want to at least take a gander at that. One of the cool things about Abyssal running is that it's relatively safe. You have to get out into 0.8 space to begin with.
Warp drive active.
0.8 space is pretty safe. But the big thing is that when you're in an Abyssal, it's one of the only things in this game, I think it is the only thing in this game, that you're truly neutralized from the rest of the EvE world. In fact, some people hate this idea. They don't think it's consistent with the general notion of EvE. It is basically an instance or a dungeon. Like if you've ever played World of Warcraft and you enter into a dungeon, if let's say you're on a PvP server, if you're outside that dungeon, a rogue could sneak up on you and kill you, right? But once you're inside the dungeon, nobody can be in there except for you and your group. It's on its own server. Yeah, so there you go. So yeah, that's a good parallel for you then. And so that's what Abyssal space is. It puts you into your own room. Nobody can get in there and touch you. Now they can wait for you to get outside. They can camp and they can blow you up when you're done and you exit. But because you're in 0.8 space, the likelihood, I've never had anybody even attempt it on me. All right, so I need to sell what's in my cargo right now. Caldari Navy midshipman. Hopefully that doesn't hurt me. All right, so all of this stuff I want to sell. All right, now we're gonna go to the market and we're gonna buy a specific kind of filament. First, the level of the filament is a T0. That stands for tier 0. It's the lowest level that you can run, but it's not called a T0. Its name, its title, it fits in a category called Tranquil. And we're going to get exotic filaments. Now, they're kind of pricey. Yesterday, they were running 350,000. Today, they're 226,000, call it 227,000. I'm going to buy 12 of them. So I'm going to get 5 right here. I'll buy all 5. And then I'll buy 7 from this guy. I don't math in public well, so if I did my math wrong, we are not surprised. I did it right. All right. So I have 12 Tranquil Exotic, and it cost me several million, right? I didn't even look at my wallet. 1.5 and 1.1, so 2.6 million roughly. About maybe 2.7. So there's your upfront cost. So now I have to go to 0.8 space. I have a spot saved already. I'm going to show you how to do this when we get there. Right now I'm going to set it as destination. These are safe 1 and safe 2. This is going to do, especially for you as a miner, this is going to be useful to know. But I'll show you when we get there I'll delete those spots and we'll create new spots. I like the idea of EvE. I could be interested with a fleet to head out to space like a group in WoW. Yeah, that's exactly what it would be like. Strength in numbers, you know.
Drive active.
I've never done it myself, but one of the big things that new people are recommended if they're interested in getting started in corporations is joining a corporation called EvE University. EvE University is a newbie-friendly corporation where they hold classes that are kind of like college courses. They're sort of conducted in the same manner. If I remember correctly, they'll have like a syllabus for you, and they'll take you through step by step through that syllabus of how to do different things in EvE, and they'll teach you. They'll teach you how to play the game. I've never done it myself. I'm kind of thinking seriously of doing it maybe this spring or something. Okay, so I'm in a 0.8 space. My filament, if you look here, if you right click and click info, it'll tell you cannot be activated in 1.0 or 0.9 systems. So I had to come to this sector here, Sobaseki, which is 0.8. And that's the first level that we can run these filaments in. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to delete these two spots here. Remove location, yes. Remove location, yes. In order to get this up, this is called your locations tab. I just pressed the L key and it brought my locations tab up. So what we're going to do now is we're going to right click in space and we're going to look for a planet, any planet at all. Let's just go to this temperate planet and we'll warp to within 10 kilometers.
Warp drive active.
On our way there, just in a random place, I'm going to click add location. All right, so that random spot that we were at created a spot in space for me. Now when we reach this point at this planet, it looks like somebody was running an abyssal here. So I actually don't want it to be this one because somebody else is working here. So we're going to go to a different planet. Let's go to this barren planet.
Warp drive active.
All right, so there's the planet. We're about 10 kilometers away from it. And I'm going to add this spot. All right, now I'm going to rename them. I'm going to call it Safe. This one is Safe 2. Oh, my bad. That should have been Safe 1. And this one, I'm going to name Safe 2. So as a miner for you, this spot that I'm at right now, this is my target location. So for you, this would be like an asteroid belt. And Safe 1 is just a random place in space that I can click here, or excuse me, Safe 2, and I can warp to it.
Warp drive active.
What this allows you to do is if you keep local chat up and you see somebody enter into your overview or local chat that you think might kill you, you can warp out to a completely random spot in space where they would have to scan down the entire system to find you. And by the time they do that, you're gone. This just gets you to a safe spot, and then from here you can leave the system or you can dock, right? For me, the purpose is so that I can run one abyssal after the other, because it won't let you set these things up near each other. So you run one in one location, you warp to another, you run a second one in that location, you warp back to your original, you run a third one there, etc., etc. So I'm going to go back to safe 1.
Warp drive active.
So these are little bug out locations. It just allows you to very quickly, it's a little bit faster than looking over here, but also they might, if you go to a planet, or a station, sometimes you have to sit outside that station for a little bit waiting for them to give you the clearance to dock. Well, the guy can follow you and gank you right there, you know? So it's better to go to these random spots. Now, take it with a grain of salt. I'm a noob myself. That's my understanding of how this stuff works, but I think I've got a handle on it. So I'm going to use this Tranquil. I'm going to right click it. Oh, I have to make a fleet with myself. So pilot, form fleet with. Hey, Kitty. I hope you're having a great weekend. Welcome to the stream. Pac the Maniac jumped in, and he is new to EvE, so I'm showing him about abyssal running. And I just now showed him how to set up safe spots in space. All right, so again, right click, pilot, and select the form fleet with, and you can form a fleet with yourself. Now these are designed for you to go in with friends, but you make the money by doing it solo, and really if you can do it in a frigate, you'll make more money. But I'm in a destroyer. But we're gonna right click, use Tranquil Exotic Filament, activate for fleet. Okay, so we're gonna do a test on how much ISK per hour I can make. So at this point in time, I'm gonna bring my timer up, and I'm gonna be out of chat. So I don't see chat right now, but we're gonna warp in, click activate, and I'm gonna start my timer. And we're gonna do this for about 30 minutes. And then I'm gonna do the math at the end, and I'm gonna get an estimate of how much ISK per hour I'm making. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna head for this transfer conduit. I'm gonna lock everything up. Up here it tells us that we have 20 minutes to get through 3 rooms. If we don't make it out, this wormhole, that's what I think, or this abyssal space, it will collapse on us and we'll lose our ship. We'll lose everything. But I'm gonna show you that that's not a problem. Not even close to being a problem. We can get through this pretty easily. So this right here is the loot chest. The Triglavian bio combination, whatever. So we'll come down here, loot all. I want to check my abyssal loot filter. Aceface will teach you how to get that. You just got to be able to bring up his stuff here in the game and copy his filters. And he has a video that'll show you how to do that. This gate is locked until you destroy all the enemies. So that's why it's opening now. We just destroyed the enemy in here. I am using a micro warp drive to close distance faster. You can use an afterburner if you want. Micro warp drives tend to be a lot faster. So there's the Triglavian Right there, it just blew up, so now we're going to approach it and open. This is probably kind of like a lot of information, like taking info from a fire hose or drinking water from a fire hose. But we're going to do this several times, so you'll start to get the hang of it. I think if you just keep watching. We're going to go ahead and start to leave, even though we can't yet. This thing is locked. But once this enemy dies, it'll open up. See, it's telling us can't activate it. But now we can. We haven't even hit 3 minutes yet, and we're entering into the last room. So approach the gate. That just gets us moving. Open fire. Then go collect the loot. So like anything else, practice makes perfect and you get better as you run it, but especially in a destroyer, this is T0 is actually a really safe place to learn, and you'll get better and better as you go. So we're done with that one. Now we're going to go to safe 2. I'm going to reload all my weapons, and I'm going to right-click in my inventory and stack all. It's showing us we have an estimated 2.7 million already just off one run from that took 4 minutes of loot here. Now, that's overestimating. The market is never that high. It's going to be closer to 2 million, maybe even 1.7. Once you land at your second spot in space, just get your ship moving by double-clicking anywhere in space, and then click negative here to stop the ship. Find your Tranquil exotic, right-click, use Tranquil, activate for fleet, select the Abyssal Trace, and jump in. The faster and smoother you get at this, the higher your ISK per hour will be. Start heading for the gate to get your ship moving. Make sure you activate whatever propulsion you have. I have a micro warp drive. Target everything. Go open the loot chest once it's been blown up. And head for the gate. So the way that I'm doing this is I just select things and I hold my left mouse button and it gives me this context menu. And then this is to activate the gate. This would be just to approach it. And we're into the next room. I will start heading for the gate. Target everything that I'm able to. And the combinative chest was blown up, so we'll head for that. I'll put other missiles onto this target here. Watching some of these videos on Abyssal Space, especially the ones by A-Space, they will usually, depending on what kind of ship that they're recommending to you, they will usually recommend a certain kind of Abyssal, because you get different pluses and minuses in these different spaces. So this one for the exotic is giving me negative 30% kinetic resistance penalty and plus 50% scan resolution bonus, as an example. So you want to pay attention to that. If you follow A-Space's Punisher guide, for example, he's going to tell you it's very important that you do tranquil electricals. I'm in an exotic right now, but if you were in a Punisher, it's very important to do tranquil electrical. Okay, go to the loot chest. So because I'm explaining a little bit while I'm doing this, and also just by the nature of being online and speaking out loud in general rather than just totally focused offline, zoned in, I'm probably not going to hit my high water mark on ISK per hour, but it should still give you an idea of how lucrative this can be. And this is just the step one. If you're able to get into a Hawk, you can run T3s. And you're going to make a ton of money soloing a T3 as a frigate. All right, so we're going to go to safety spot 1. I don't want to use that. I want to stack all. Stack all. I want to replenish my missiles while we're moving. And we're just over 9 minutes right now. Double click anywhere in space to get your ship moving. That clears you. There's like a debuff that you get that won't let you fire these exotics off for a few seconds. But when you move your ship, it clears that debuff instantly. So you move it, then stop it. Select your Abyssal Trace and jump in. We're approaching 10-minute mark right now. This is our 3rd run, I think, maybe our 4th. I lost track. But I've got 4.25 million in my inventory right now. In 10 minutes. Loot all. Head for the transfer conduit as we finish off this Lancer. Okay, he's down, so we'll be able to jump through right away. We're coming up on 11 minutes. Remember, we're going to take this to about 30 minutes, somewhere around there. And then we'll go sell all our stuff, and we'll do a little bit of math and figure out an estimate for ISK per hour. Okay, loot chest is down, so we'll approach the chest now to open it. By selecting open, it'll automatically take me to the chest and perform the opening action. So it takes care of navigation and opening for me all in one, just by picking that one item, that one command. this is the last room for this abyss. One of the cool things here is that you make enough money per run, or per group of runs, I guess, that if you were to lose your ship, you can replace it pretty easily because you've got the money built up. And we're looking at about 6 million. It's probably closer to 5 million. Once you actually sell it at a station. Warp over to safe 2.
Warp drive active.
We're coming up on 13.5 minutes. Once the warp starts to drop, double click anywhere in space. I kind of just spam click. Get the ship moving, hit stop, right click the exotic, use tranquil, activate. Just bam, bam, bam. The more experienced you get, the faster you'll be. And the more ISK per hour you'll earn. So the idea that I'm trying to achieve, because I told you about I'm trying to learn how to PLEX the account, if that's going to be possible for me. And what I want it to be is that I'm able to get in 2 or 3 days a month and just really grind on something like this. And then with that, I will have achieved enough to PLEX my account. And then the rest of the month I can spend doing whatever I want to do. That's the idea I'm aiming for. Am I moving? Oh, here, I forgot to activate my micro warp drive. We just crossed 15 minutes. And I've got about 5.7 mil in my cargo. Again, it won't actually sell for that much. It'll sell for about $1 million less. I'm at 6.24 now. And we're approaching 16 minutes. Remember, this is just T0. T1, T2, T3, those all get more lucrative. Alright, we got 3 enemies in here. Lock them all up. 2 missiles on you. 2 missiles on you. And 3 on you. All missile bays are active. Close in on the loot chest. Gotta be within 2,500 meters to loot. So I'm always ready down here, and then I hit loot all, and I head for the transfer conduit. If you lose count of how many rooms you've done and stuff, when you see this origin conduit, you know that you're in the last room. That origin conduit, when you go through it, is going to take you back to regular space. Head for the loot chest. See, we have an additional issue in here. Filament cloud, neg 30% penalty to shield booster shield bonus, but a 30% bonus to shield booster duration. Oh, loot all. Did I get it? Yes, I did. Okay, head for the origin conduit. We're at, we just crossed 18 minutes. I've got 7.65 million in my cargo. Head back to safe 1.
Warp drive active.
Stack all. It just stacks like items for you, because you can find filaments in here. So if I found extra tranquil exotics, it'll stack it for me. And let's see, double click anywhere in space, then stop the ship. Right click, use tranquil, activate, and jump in. And we're coming up on 19.5 minutes. Head for the gate, just to get the ship moving. Fire at the loot chest. Send everything else at the Lucifer sword spine. Now that the loot chest is down, put those missiles onto the Lucifer. Approach the loot chest with the open command. Don't forget to activate your warp drive like I did. And this is a pretty game. And the lighting that you get here in this Abyssal Dead Space makes everything look more realistic to me. That's one of the things I love about when video games get it right, man. The play between light and shadow. You know where I learned about this from? Different ENBs for Skyrim. I started to learn about the importance between light and shadow and how much of a difference in the kind of art that you saw. It made it from realistic to cartoony. It's all dependent on lighting. It blew my mind whenever I learned that. You know, I'm not an artist. I never went to any art classes or anything. It's probably something I would have learned there. So for me, the way I learned it was through Skyrim ENBs. All right, so we're heading towards the gate. Fire 2 missiles at the loot chest. Oh, the Skybreaker. This is going to be the toughest enemy you're going to run into. The Skybreaker Disparate. And we are going to fire everything we got at that. And then we're going to head for the loot chest. Now, when you're a frigate, this thing can be a bit of a problem. I'm not a frigate, I'm a destroyer. So he's not too much of a problem for me because I got 7 missile bays that I'm throwing on him. But he is by far the toughest target in a TZ. We'll head for the transfer conduit. We're going to get the cannot activate message. The fit that I have for this ship comes from Ace Face. if you're interested in going my route. But Aceface has a whole slew of different ships that you can do this stuff in. You just gotta fish around and find out which videos you want to follow. Actually, I cannot remember if this... I'm flying a Corax, and I don't remember if that came from Aceface or not. I might have simply YouTubed T0 Abyssal fit for Corax. Loot all and head for the conduit. So that's the end of that conduit. We just crossed 23 minutes. We're actually about halfway between 23 and 23.5. 23 and 30 seconds. Let's see here. Get into space. And stack all. Reload. Head for safe 2. Says I have about 8.4 mil. It'll probably sell for 7.4. We're coming up on 24 minutes. This might be the last Abyssal that we run, because we're aiming for that 30-minute mark. Double click anywhere in space. Once you see your velocity pick up, spam it, spam it, spam it, go, go, go. There we go, spot, stop. Right click, use, activate. Abyssal trace and jump in. Approach the gateway there. Lock up. There's your loot chest. Send 2 missiles at that. Lock up your Lucifer. Send everything else there. Loot chest is down. Approach and open. Put your other 2 available missile bays that were on the loot chest onto the Lucifer. Oh, don't forget that micro warp drive. I keep doing that. So you're getting the idea here, I hope, that this is a little bit suboptimal for me. So whenever you're doing this on your own, especially after you've practiced it for a while, you should be really zeroed in, and it's going to be easy. It's not hard to do. You don't have to be super laser focused. You can do it while listening to a podcast in the background. It's just, at least for me, whenever I'm narrating and I feel like I'm talking to an audience, my brain that's split attention for me. And it's a little harder for me to get into a rhythm, what I call like a dance. You know, if you've ever been dancing and you lose the rhythm of the kick drum or something like that, it throws you out from your partner or from everybody else. If you're doing like a group dance or something, it takes you a minute to get back in line. You know, so rhythm is a big thing for me when it comes to doing stuff like this. And narrating makes it hard for me to maintain a rhythm. Alright, we're approaching 27 minutes. Loot. Head for the transfer conduit. And jump through. Okay, approach. Lock up. Fire 2 missiles. The Lucid is now in range for me to lock him up. Put all missile bays on the Lucid and approach the loot chest. And if you've been watching the damage I've been taking, you can see there's nothing in here that's any threat to me. I think the lowest I've been is 50% on my shield. Loot all. These things will all improve A, with your experience, and B, with your pilot's training as you train different systems. That's something else I want to show you. I'll show you that here. Let's see, what are we at? We're at 28 minutes. I don't think I can get another one. Yeah, maybe I can. It'll put us a little bit over.
Warp drive active.
We'll do one more. Stack all. Because the closer you get to an actual hour, the more accurate you're going to be. I'm at 9.3 mil in my cargo. It'll probably sell for 8.3. Okay, double click anywhere in space to get the ship going. Hit stop. Right click. Use. Activate. This will be the last one for sure. Activate. Approach. Lock up. And hit micro warp drive. Okay, lock up the Damavic. Put all remaining missile bays on him. Okay. If you right click your ship and you bring up show info, you have all these tabs. So one of the important things is to look at what the traits of the ship are, because that's what you're going to want to build your ship out. This is a missile boat, right? It wouldn't really make sense for me to put guns on this boat. You can, and there are people who do it. But general rule of thumb is to take advantage of the benefits that are listed there. There are other ships that have benefits to hybrid turrets and stuff like that. But if you're wondering what to train next, on whatever ship you're on, including your mining frigate, you can come over to Mastery. And this will show you how close you are to gaining a Mastery certificate and what class of certificate it is. Let me get these guys locked up. So I have a class 1 certificate. That's why it's covered all in white here. And if I mouse over it, I thought it, oh, here, it says mastery level acquired. These are your core areas. Again, this is a lot like, gosh, I forgot what it's called, but you're like a college degree plan. You have a core area, you open it up, and it shows you all the classes you need, right? And what level. So for these, you need level 1. And then, let's see, loot all. It's the same for each class. So I have not attained class 2 yet, because I'm missing, right here, it's got a blue dot instead of a check mark. I'm missing propulsion jamming 2. So because there's a blue square here, that tells you that I've got it in my training queue right now. Otherwise, it would be an empty gray square. So I have found this to be a good way to throw together training plans for yourself. One of the big mistakes people make, give me just a second. One of the big mistakes that people make is they jump into the next class of ship just because they're able to. But just the rule of thumb in EvE is just because you can fly it doesn't mean you can fight with it. These are all the skills that you need to be effective with that ship. It's not enough to be able to just pilot a ship. So newbies will jump into a battle cruiser, for example, because they can fly it. And they won't be as good as they were in their destroyer. Well, that's because you don't have all the support skills that you need. And so you're actually weaker in that ship. And then you get blown up and you lose a really big investment. And people get upset and they quit, right? Well, this is a good way. Try to get up to like level 3 on stuff. You don't have to. It's kind of a feel. You'll learn it as you go. But it gives you a good idea because these skills that you gain for the destroyer, they will help you. Let's hit stop on the timer. I'm at 33. I'm at 33, 36. We're going to round down to 33 because I've been talking and stuff. But it shows we've got 10.8 mil. That'll sell for about 9.8. So close to, probably close to 10 mil. But this will help you with training plans right here. So we are not going to go to my home base because I have some abyssal loot stored in there. And I'll tell you why. I have 289 of these surveys in there. I'll tell you why here in a minute. And I have these 0-point condensates that I'm wanting to use on blueprints. So I'm trying to save that up. But I don't want to mix this with our loot. So we're going to go to a different spot. We're still going to go to Jeddah. We're just going to go to a different station. And we're going to sell everything there. And then we'll do some math and figure out an approximation of what I made. But hopefully you get the idea here. You can use these to kind of build your own training plan. I'm going to hop back over to chat now. So at least that's what I've found out. I mean, take everything with a grain of salt. I'm pretty much a noob myself, but I'm a noob who's been around for almost since the game was started. And so I've seen different iterations of EvE. I've picked stuff up over the years. It's just that I haven't played very much, and because I've lone wolfed my entire time, I've never joined a corp. As you can imagine, that's going to lengthen the learning curve, right? I usually jump into EvE as a way to just chill on my own. I know that's like, it's an MMO, why would you do that? I don't know, I can't really tell you, I just do. But we're gonna go here to the Jeddah Trade Hub. Then we're gonna sell. We're going to find out how much ISK per minute we were making. We're going to multiply that by 60. We're going to get an estimate of how much ISK per hour we just accomplished. And you can compare that to what you're doing with mining right now and decide which you want to stick with. Which, by the way, you should stick with what's fun. Fun is a factor. You know, it's a measurement in this game. So I like mining also. I jump in and I'll do mining while I'm listening to a podcast in the background. It's a lot like what you're doing. You're listening to me in the background while you mine, and it's relaxing. It's fun. But I have settled on, at least right now, abyssal running as my money maker. We're going to grab, if I just click abyssal loot, because I have a filter from Aceface set up for it. grab all this, bring it to the item hanger, and we're going to sell it all. Wait a minute. Yeah. Okay. So it's not going to sell these right here. These are blueprints. No. Hold on. Oh, shoot. I'm in my own station. Okay. I really made a critical mistake there. That's okay. Fortunately, not everything has been combined. These are the ones that we got, and this is the one that we got. These two were the ones that I was safeguarding. So I thought I was in a different station, so that's my bad. We're just gonna go to, I don't know, the Navy plant, I guess. Moon 4, Navy Assembly. Oh, Jeddah Trade Hub. Okay, so if I had seen Navy Assembly Plant, I would have known that was my station. We'll go here.
Warp drive active.
Wow, that was almost a disaster.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
Okay. So before we sell this stuff, I want to point something out to you. If you select the Triglavian survey, this is your moneymaker here. Of all these things, they all sell pretty decently, but this one sells really well. If you right click it and you click view market details, up here on top, these are the sellers. This is what you're going to be. Down here are on the bottom, these are people that have put in buy orders. So they're electing to buy it at this price. So it'll auto buy if anybody sets it. That's like their max price. If you scroll down, all of these that are listed as 100,000, these are NPC companies that will sell, but see, they're 10 jumps away, 10 to 13 jumps away. And some of them are in low sec. So let's say we wanted to go here. Right click, show info. Oh, that's the survey. No. Right click, location, show info. It's a 0.5 system. Okay. So if you were to set destination, it's all high sec that you'll be traveling through, but 0.5 is a little bit sketchy, so you want to be aware of that, right? But what you could do is you could run a whole bunch of abyssal sites, save these up like I am over in my home base. And then when you have like 500 of them, you make this 10 jump trip. For example, see, this one's in nullsec. I don't know if nullsec, it's low sec, 0.3, so I wouldn't want to go there. And you can, the point being, you can sell it for more than what you're going to sell here. And when you add that up over 500, I mean, you're making about 5,000 to 10,000 more per. and you're selling like 500, let's say, right? So it can be a substantial increase in your payout. Okay, so I just wanted to point that out. That's an option to you to increase and maximize your ISK. But let's go ahead and take all this, sell all of them right here at this station. Give it a minute to populate everything. Okay. And it says that we're going to get 9.4 million. Okay, and it did not sell these. Why not? Oh, it's a blueprint. Okay. What about this? I don't know why it didn't sell this. All right, I think I said 9.3. You should take the Triglavian survey database to the right station for more ISK. Yeah, I just got done explaining that, but I'm wanting to show him. Pack the Maniac is new, so I'm wanting to show him just a general overview of what he can do with abyssals. So we're going to do the breakdown right now. I just made 9.3 mil, so I got to bring the calculator up. $9.3 divided by 33, we spent 33 minutes, times 60. So we have an estimated 16.9, let's call it 17 million per hour. Okay, so you can compare that. So see what Tubby's saying? He runs T6 and it's really good ISK, to be honest. Yeah. And so that's the other thing to know. There's 6 tiers of these things. So 17 mil per hour. Compare that with what you're doing with mining, and then you can make a judgment call. And again, Aceface has a day 1 Punisher fit, a Mar Punisher frigate that you can start just right from where you're at right now. You can go buy it, you can train into it, fit it, and you can get started on abyssals right now if you wanted to. And Tubby says can do $1 billion plus an hour in T6. Wow, man. So Tubby, my main objective, I kind of actually took an aside here just because Pac jumped into the chat and said he was new, so I wanted to show him this. But one of the things that I've been looking at, and I'm leaning towards abyssals, but I was wondering abyssals or level 4 mission running for earning ISK. And do you find abyssal running to be more lucrative than T4 missions? And also, what kinds of threats do you run into? Like running T6, do you find ganking to be pretty prolific, and so you need to be able to do PvP and defend yourself, or is it not so much?
Warp drive active.
You do mission, you need to do the burner missions also, or it's kind of meh. What is a burner mission? Never been ganked. It's also much harder to gank now as CCP makes it harder every passing year. I've heard about that.
Docking request accepted.
What's the feeling in the community on that? Because my impression of the EvE, I've been in EvE for a long time, but I play it very sporadically, so I'm pretty much a noob. I also lone wolf a lot. But my impression was that the community really generally didn't want any safe areas, and there seems to be some back and forth on it, some argument in both directions. So I'm just interested in your take on it. Let's see, I'm going to open up my agent finder and go back to her. A burner mission is a mission that pops up every 3 to 6 missions that takes 3 minutes to do, but gives you 14,000 loyalty points and a chance of a faction drop. Wow. And it gives 8 million in ISK. Okay. Every 3 to 6 missions? That's new to me. Has that been around for a long time? It's been a few years since I've been in EvE. Like, it's been 2 or 3. 2, actually, because I think I was playing EvE in 2020. Let's see here. Subseki.
Warp drive active.
But you have to take the right fit, or you 100% die. And yeah, it's been around for years. Okay. Man, that's good info. I appreciate it, Tubby. I need to break my lone wolf status and go ahead and maybe I'll join EvE University first. Kind of learn a little bit about what I'm doing and then go corporation hunting. But right now I'm just trying to, I don't want to do that just yet. I want to play around with abyssals and level 4 or, well, mission running. And I'm trying to get into a hawk because I've been watching Ace Face on YouTube, and it looks like a hawk can, as an assault frigate, it can solo up to T3 abyssals.
Warp drive active.
If you are solo one account, then abyssal is 100% better ISK than level 4 missions. Oh, really, really good info for me then. That's exactly what that is what I am, and that's what I've been wanting to know about. If you do T5 and T6, okay, so T3s, farming T3s would not be, it wouldn't cross that threshold, huh? So I want to be aiming for T5, T6. Okay. Level 4 mission is better than T3 abyssal. Okay. Well, I don't mind aiming for T5, T6. I think it's really neat. I like the abyssals.
Warp drive active.
But I don't know how to PvP or anything. I don't mind learning. I don't have any idea what I'm doing. You know, I have been PvP'd a few times and it was no contest. I got absolutely wrecked. But long run, abyssals is a good bit better money. No one making $1 billion plus an hour doing level 4 missions. Gotcha. On one account anyhow, right. Right. All right.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
All right, let's talk with her, start conversation. What do we have here? So I need to learn about which missions to take and which ones not to. Investigate asteroid belt, retreat if you encounter overwhelming force. It doesn't tell me who I'll be facing. So I'm going to accept that and undock. I run an Ishtar for T5 and T6 as it's faster than the Gila, but the Gila is easy mode. And it's why you see Gila in 99% of abyssal fits. Okay, yeah, because I've heard of both. And I see the arguments on the forums too. So I know that they're both good options. Let's see, what am I looking for? Warp to location.
Warp drive active.
Reload. This tell you every mission, level 1 to 5. Are you talking about, I don't see a link. I see asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. Are you talking about EVE Survival, maybe? Rogue drone. Approach. Yes, okay. Yeah, I have, I used to know some of this stuff. I've had to kind of relearn it over the past few days, and that was one that I looked up on the internet and it was recommended, and then I remembered it. And so I've been using it. When it comes to missions that I see where it tells me I'm definitely going to be entering combat, because sometimes it looks like you're going to be fighting Guristas, but they sneak some Galentian Navy in there, and I'm like, well, you guys lied to me. You didn't tell me there was Galentian Navy here. So EVE Survival does, and I have figured that out. Let's activate the warp drive. Well, I'm going to lock him up, I guess. And there they all are. Okay. And it says we can dock, so
Warp drive
I don't
active.
think there's any reason to stick around. These things don't give up much loot. YouTube Hateless Gaming for level 4 mission and burner missions. I've heard of him. Thank you. He's like Ace of level 4 mission burner missions. That's really good to know. And Ace Face for Abyssals. Yep, I agree. Hateless Gaming for level 4 mission and burner
Docking permission
missions.
requested. Docking request accepted.
Hateless Gaming. And I've seen his YouTube channel, and I've seen him mentioned in forums too, so but I didn't know what for. I just thought, okay, well, so he's a good EVE Online YouTuber. It's good to know that what he specifies in. Thanks for that. All right, complete this mission. Request another. Destroy the Sancha vessels. Okay, what is this called? Pirate aggression objectives. I'm going to Alt-Tab, and I'm going to go to EVE Survival. Pirate aggression. What was it called? Oh, that is what it's called. Pirate aggression. Oh, they have a whole bunch. There's 79 matches. Oh, you think he quit EVE? And he's just as good as Ace Face in the Abyssals. That might be what I know him from. As I was researching Abyssal Fits, I might have come across Hateless. Okay. Pirate invasion. Control F. Pirate aggression. 1 AN, 1 SA. I'm going to guess it's the SA. Sancha. Yeah, Sancha Nation. They deal EM and thermal, and they're susceptible to EM and thermal. 3 frigates. Okay, it looks like this one's safe for me, so we're going to accept it and then undock. Thukar Mix is also the best cop to get LP for if doing mission, as it has the best LP ISK. That also is really good. That is something right there, Tubby, that I tried to research and couldn't really seem to find an answer. So you just filled a gap for me there. Thanks, man. Really appreciate it.
Warp drive active.
I'm running for the Caldari police because they had a whole bunch of level 4 mission givers that were in the same station. It's like 2 of them. I think one of them had 3, but they have something like 4 or 5 different places where they have them stacked up like that. Is that a good corp to run missions for? I'm probably gonna do missions and Abyssal just to have something to kind of switch up on. But I think I've got a solid handle on how Abyssal's working, so I'm trying to uncover how missions work. There's a site that shows you LP per ISK. Oh, I have links turned off. Let's see, are you in Twitch? Yes. Let me see if I can fix that. I've never messed with this before. So I stream and I do videos, but there's like a lot of stuff that I don't know about. How do I open it up for links? Community. Maybe it's community. No. Well, I'm not immediately seeing how I can enable links. /permit and let me send links for like 60 seconds. Okay. My name. Okay. Do I need to include the space? Looks like no space. Permit. Okay. And then I'm trying to include your name. I'm trying to like shift click it or oh shoot, I just left the chat. All right. Yeah, I hear you. Something like that. Let me try just typing your name out long form. Tubby _ Cande _ order unrecognized command. Okay. I can DM you. You have blocked whispers from strangers. By sending a whisper to Tubby, you allow them to whisper you for 48 hours. You can disable their access again in whisper settings. Got it. All right. Hi there. There we go. Okay, I got it. Thank you, Tubby. I appreciate it. That's a lot of help, man. Okay, warp to
Warp
location.
drive active.
It opens up the highest one in high sec for you, but you can look at them all. Okay. Oh, was that it? Read details. Destroy the Sancha vessels. Okay. Set destination. So, like you were saying, you know, this is easy, so it's like a relaxing thing for me to do. So, I'll do some mining, I'll do mission running, and I'll do abyssals. Those are pretty much the three things I do right now. In the past, I've done what do you call it? I've done like some space trucking stuff where you run distribution missions. For whatever reason, that's kind of fun for me also, but not as fun as the other three. Maybe if I was part of a crew flying like escort protection or something, that might be pretty neat. I would say one account solo T6 abyssals is about 60% better ISK than level 4 missions one account solo. But you can't die in level 4 missions. You can't really die in abyssals unless you're dumb. Yeah. That's been my experience too. Like, I've lost a couple ships in abyssals and the T0s, but it was because I was learning, you know? One of the reasons was I went with a friend of mine and he died. So I went to go loot his ship, and then I found out that the reason he died was because he went outside the red border. So whenever I got to his ship, I was outside the red border, and by the time I realized what was going on, I couldn't get back in time, and it blew my ship up. So that was more of a snafu. So I really only have one legit loss of ship, and once I kind of figured out what was going on and how to do things, I haven't had a problem since then. You just copy some OP abs fit, abyssals fits.
Docking permission requested.
Then you can't die unless you're dumb. Yeah. Yeah. Like I was following Ace Face's Punisher stuff. That Punisher was just wrecking shop, man. But my uncle bought me Omega time for my Caldari account, so I switched over to him, and now I'm in the Corax, and I'm working towards the Hawk. Alright, destroy the rogue drones. Alright, that doesn't sound like it's going to have anything involving Galenti Navy. Galente is actually what I'm used to. I started out way back in 07 or 08 as Caldari. And then I switched over to Galente, and I got used to drones. I enjoyed running as drones. I like the concept from a PvE perspective. I like the concept of a ship that's like really hard to break apart, and its drones does the damage. So it appealed to me, and I had a lot of fun doing that kind of stuff. I got into a Vexor at one point in time. That was on an old account, and I was having a good time with that. But I hit my skill cap as an alpha, so this is my first time as an Omega. And man, it is so exciting for me to just be able to improve skills that I've never been able to touch before. You know, probably the best example of that is mining, because alpha mining is really, really limited. And my miner is doing 181 cubic meters per minute now, which is something I've never touched before. And I know he can get better than that. And that's not even the main thing I'm interested in. I'm just simply having fun being able to progress, you know?
Warp drive active.
Battlecruiser drone equals easy mode in abyssals. Oh, really? Once you have abyssals down, you can plex your account for free within 5 hours doing abyssals most of the time. 3 to 4 hours. Perfect. Perfect. That, you weren't in here, but the very beginning of this, nobody was in here actually. Whenever I first started this live stream, I laid down what I was doing and what my goals were. And that's one of the things I talk about, is that I talk about, I'm interested in seeing if I can plex the account. You know, it's a sandbox game. You have to find your own fun. And plexing the account seems like fun to me. It's fun for me to explore. Let's see. Let's try approaching that. What's my orbital distance? 30 kilometers. I'm not 30 kilometers from this. Maybe I am. Maybe they're behind that. It doesn't look like it, though. Alright, well anyway, start locking them up. Yeah, so that's very exciting to hear that you can do it within hours. I was thinking I might have to do 2-3 days a month. What to me was like a really good goal. You know, to be able to do it in hours is even better. I would say you need 17 million skill points to be able to plex your account in 4 hours of game time. Then less skill points you have, the less skill points you have than that, the longer it takes, of course. Gotcha. Yeah, gotcha. All right, let's set destination.
Warp drive active.
Hey, Tubby, have you messed around with faction warfare at all? And if so, do you have any opinions on it? But yeah, know what to do. If you know what to do, it's not hard to make ISK or plex your account. Okay, good. That's cool to hear.
Warp drive active.
It's encouraging, you know? Not tried it since the rework. I only started playing again a week ago after a year off. Yeah, I've heard that that's, there's a lot of that going on. I'm same way, you know, I played in 2020 and I didn't hear about this expansion. I more just, it almost caught me by surprise. Every time I jump into EVE Online, it's a shock to me. It's just like I wake up and I'm like, I want to play a space game. Do I want to play Mass Effect? No. No, I'm not in the mood for the RPG thing. Do I want to jump into Elite Dangerous maybe? And I really like the piloting stuff in Elite Dangerous, but the rest of the game I don't like. So I'll be like, nah. I don't have Star Citizen, and that seems like a ripoff anyway. It's the Eternal Alpha, you know, or Beta. And so then I'll think EVE, and I'm like, really? Do I really want to jump into EVE? And I'm like, well, it's free, and I can just go tool around and do some mining while I watch a Netflix movie. Sure, I'll give it a shot. And then I'll jump back in, and I'll be surprised at how much I'm having fun with it. You know, so it's a constant shock to me. Because it'll happen like day of. What game do I feel like playing? And it's like, well, maybe EVE. And it just comes out of nowhere, you know? And then I'll jump in and be surprised at how much I'm enjoying it. I didn't know about the exploration. I just felt like playing again. Oh, the expansion, yeah. I started in 2014. Nice. I started back in 07 or 08. But as I've said before, like it's all lone wolf stuff and very, very sporadic. There's so much of the game I don't know about that I'm really a noob. Okay, we've got, looks like Aristas here. The blockade. I need to look this up. Because sometimes they lie to me and it's not just Garistas. Alright, search. The blockade. GU for Garistas. Looks like it's just rats. Pithy. Okay, so it's all pithy. So we should be good to go. Faction Dread and C6 are insane at the moment, but takes years to learn. I don't even know what C6 is. Well, I don't know what any of that is. Insane knowledge and quite a bit of ISK investment as well as risk, but it pays itself off in 2 hours and you get yourself plexed in 20 minutes. Wow. Wow. Warp to location. I don't know what either one of those things are though. Faction Dread and C6. I can Google it. All right. We got a stasis tower. Pithy Imputor. Irrigators and plunderers. Is that going to be enough? Not quite. Alright. Got a little bit of loot. You should also know null is more safe than high. That blows me away. I guess because not as many people out there, or because whatever corporation you're with has sovereignty and so you're protected. I bet that's it. That would make a lot of sense. You would only be unsafe if your corporation was at war with somebody else. Whereas in high-sec you can get ganked at any time. So that actually does make a lot of sense. Pretty much the same though. High isn't safe if you mine or fly expensive stuff. Except from that, I think high is safer. Oh, this is Altair. Okay. Only dumb people mine in high sec. And Altair agrees. Got you. Okay. I will remember that because I was just mining in high sec last night. I'm like, this is fun. Oh, that's great. Let's go get that wreck. Oh, we got more. I need to find a way to clean this overlay up. I had a really nice one from Aceface, but then they made changes, and I'm not skilled enough to be able to customize my own overlay. Okay, let's go get this. There's so many overlays that have been made, just YouTube it, find one you like and add it. Okay, thank you, Tubby. I really, for whatever reason, had not even thought of that. I didn't think you could YouTube overlays. But of course you can. You can YouTube everything. Like, YouTube is the new modern day university. If you want to learn something, you can go to YouTube. You might be able to have to fish through the BS, but if you want to know how to change out a carburetor and you have no idea how to do that, you go to YouTube and find out. Yesterday I was watching this kid in Germany build a dang bushcraft hut out in the middle of the woods. And then I watched, I think it was a Filipino, do ancient home building using just an axe. The dude was barefoot in the woods, just throwing logs around like it's no problem. You can learn all kinds of stuff from YouTube. All right, give me that loot. Loot all. Loot all. And I can't target them yet, but I can approach. Then over time, change it how you like, more as you work more stuff out. Okay. Looting mission also not worth it if you are doing it just for ISK. Speed is the name of the game. Ah, okay, that's good to know. I used to loot. I would do the mission, I would loot, and I would salvage. And that's not very efficient, huh? Just do the missions. There's a lot of these guys out here. I'm just gonna loot this one because it's on the way. Why can't I lock it? Oh, it's too far out. There we go. Here they all come. Okay. Get you, get you, get you, get you. Lock up the rest of your buddies. Missiles is just so easy. I'm used to running with like a catalyst where you're having a gun, run and gun, and you're within striking range of everything. something actually got close enough to shoot me, huh? There we go. Okay, so now we can dock.
Warp drive active.
Yeah, definitely not worth it to loot. The money in the mission is all from loyalty points, so the faster you do them and the more you do, the more they make. The more you make. Okay. Okay. That's a good explanation. Oh man, I'm learning a bunch of stuff right now. But all that said,
Permission requested.
I think I'm at the end of this stream. Yeah, I've been going for 2 hours. I'm going to be back on tomorrow, but for tonight, this is going to be it. So start conversation and complete that mission. All right, sweet. And so thank you particularly to Tubby, but thank you to everybody who showed up and engaged. I learned a whole lot of stuff. Got a bunch of good affirming knowledge from Tubby about, so Abyssals is definitely the way to go. And that is what I've been focusing towards. I'm excited about getting into my Hawk. That should be, I think in January, I'll be able to get into the Hawk. Got 16 days loaded up here. I probably need to take another look at what I need for the Hawk and see. I think actually these were the last skills I needed, but I need to double check that. But that'll be it for tonight. So thanks for coming by, everybody. I really enjoyed it. Tubby, in particular, to you again, thank you very much for all the tips. That was, not only were they good tips, but they were in target areas that exactly what I've been wondering about. So that was really uncanny. That I was really lucky that you jumped into this one. All right, guys, you all take care. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And I will see you guys when I see you. In game, on stream, or whenever. It's a small world. You never know. All right, guys, later.